Hi, my name is Keith, and what I'm going to do is this is kind of like a follow-up video. These are my special effects. You can see they're pretty stellar, how they would look out. But this is a follow-up video of the Enoch calendar that I mentioned in the previous video. So this is an illustration of what the different gates would look like. So I'm going to use up my pointy tool, which is a handy Sawzall blade, multi-tool, if there was one. So gate 1 is not the first gate of the year, like you might think, but it's a double gate. So that means there's a 31-day increment, and then there's another 30-day cycle after that. So what happens is the year, it's going to travel clockwise around. So what I wrote is this is the 4th gate. So this is the start of the year, essentially. The spring equinox would be up in here. And then what happens is once the spring equinox is at this line, the start of the year, you count 30 days. So if you have a biblical new moon, which is the first sliver of light that's visible after what the world calls a new moon, in this gate, that's when the year actually starts. That's the first day of God's year. And then it'll continue. So if there's a second new moon that happens in any of these gates, these 30 days, the second new moon does not count as a month. It's like a void thing. It's God's way of catching up. So what happens is you go around, so you have a new moon, and it'll happen somewhere in this gate. Year starts, and then you start counting, yada, yada, yada. Days, from that moon, or new moon. Then you have another new moon in this gate. That's the second month. And then you'll have a third new moon in this. So it always goes 30 days, and then 31 days. So what happens is there's a remembrance day. This like 31st day, if you will. And that's tied to what Noah went through in the flood. Things that happened to him. So like the 6th gate is also a double gate. So you can actually have 2 new moons in this gate, and it's not a problem. A third one would be a problem because you'd have either a second one in this 31-day block or a second one in this 30-day block. So anyway, you have another new moon over here. You start a new season. You get another 30-day block. Come back, and then you're in the 4th gate again, and you get another 31-day block. So anytime, like I said, if you have 2 new moons in one of these blocks, one of these numbers here, the second one never counts as a month. So then you have, another 30 and 31 days. And up in here in the 1st gate, this is when winter is. And then you got 31 day, or 30 day, 30 day, 31 day. So this is technically winter up here. And spring. And summer. And fall. The way it was drawn. So it's not too hard of a concept. You need a new moon. And then the new moon has to be in the next gate for there to be a month. Or like what happened this year, created a lot of confusion among people. And a lot of people celebrated Passover or started the new year in the wrong month. And we actually almost did for a while. There's a new moon here. And then there's a second new moon here right before the spring equinox. And it threw us off a bit, because it was like almost the night of, kind of thing. And so we started doing things wrong here, and then we corrected ourselves. But that happens once every 3 years where there's an extra month. Like I said, there's a new moon here and a new moon here. It doesn't necessarily have to be in this gate, per se. It can be in any of these cases, and it will change the months. And yeah, so people celebrated God's Passover or the feast days in the wrong season this year, a whole month early. They celebrated in a month that's like a null and void month, and all their calendars can be off as a result. So, anyway, the other part of this calendar, it's simple. You can look at the sky, you can look at the moon, a full moon, as you're at like the 14th day of the month. Pretty easy way to tell. Kind of where you are, you can look at the moon and go, is it growing? Yep. And you can say you're early in the month, you're in the first half of the month. Is it getting smaller? Then you're at the second half of the month. God wanted us to use signs and symbols that He provided for us to use time or count time, keep track of time, however you want to say it. But anyway, this is a pretty brief video. My special effects aren't very special. I hope someone gets the gist of this and it makes a little bit of sense. All praise and glory to the Most High. Amen. Also, if you have any comments or questions, don't hesitate to ask in the comment section below. I'll try to answer even though I've been blocked from my own channel. Yeah, I said that. I've tried to post to a few other comments on my channel and they get deleted. So, yeah, there's that. But anyway, like I said, God bless and may this find the right person. Amen.